Hello, and welcome to your early 20s. This is the Some Nerdy Arguments review of Night in the Woods. Night in the Woods, like a number of indie games that seem to be releasing this year, started life as a Kickstarter project, raising over $200,000 during the fall of 2013. The project was led by three people, Alec Haloka, Scott Benson, and Bethany Hockenberry. It took them 3 years plus since the Kickstarter ended, but damn, did they make a fine experience. Night in the Woods is an adventure game where you play as May, a 20-year-old who just dropped out of college. She returns home to Possum Springs, an old mining town her family lives in, and hangs out with her friends Greg, Angus, and Bee. Together, they, since this is a story-driven game, it wouldn't be right to say much of the story. I know there are some out there that didn't like the characters for one reason or another, but I liked what they did. It definitely felt like they were people in their early 20s. If you were a child of the 80s or 90s, you know the type. Those that had just gotten out of high school, some of them still acting too carefree for the rest of the world, some having to take up responsibilities above what's expected of them. Some of them go off to college but then come back more confused about what they want to do with their life and end up in their parents' basement playing games and making videos on the internet. It seems like this game hit on some nerves, some more raw than others. Anyway, gameplay is pretty minimal, but that's kind of how it goes with this type of game. Go to a place and hit a button to talk with someone or interact with something. However, there are little mini-games that happen throughout the game, including a rock band-like rhythm game, and a mini roguelike called Demon Tower, which in itself is a fun little game with 10 levels that progressively get harder, to the point where you have to beat the final level on one hit. I like the music of this game. Most of it is background, although there is the couple of rock band moments as previously mentioned. There are also a couple of dream sequences that revolve around finding musicians around the level, which results in a wonderful sounding track. Graphically, I've been playing this game for over a dozen hours and I can't quite put my finger on the style. All I know for sure is that it absolutely works in this case. I like it. Overall, Night in the Woods is a wonderful experience that seems to have nailed the promises of the Kickstarter campaign. Although I would have to dispute a few descriptions of May from the campaign page, which I won't get into because that would be a bit of a spoiler. But then again, things may have changed from campaign to completion. Or it could be something else. Again, no spoilers. Night in the Woods is available on PS4 as well as PC through places like Steam and GOG.com for about $20. It will also release on iOS and Android sometime next year. If you want to score it a 10, well, it's a 10. I can't really find much fault with it. It's easily one of my favorite experiences of the year. If you want a recommendation, here it is. Buy it, without question. And that's our review of Night in the Woods. If you liked the video, please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you have some critiques of the video or recommendations for games, feel free to leave a comment below. I'm Jeff from Some Nerdy Arguments, and be careful when wandering at night.